What's up, YouTube? This is Nick with Nick Does DGI, and welcome to my channel. It's that time of the week where I go over my M1 finance portfolio and I further discuss current events and my predictions for what 2021 will bring to the stock market. It is Wednesday morning, December 9th, and the market continues to climb. Yesterday, the S&P 500 closed at record highs, closing above 3,700 for the first time after some encouraging news. The first glimmer of good news is that the UK has finally begun the rollout process. A 90-year-old grandmother received the very first dose of the Pfizer vaccine, which UK called yesterday the V-Day, and the country has ordered an initial amount of 40 million doses, or enough for 20 million people from Pfizer, on top of the 7 million doses, or 3.5 million people from Moderna. On the domestic front, ahead of the upcoming Thursday meeting to discuss the Pfizer vaccine emergency use authorization, the FDA released a statement saying that the vaccine was consistent with recommendations put forth by the agency for the emergency use authorization. The vaccine was also shown to provide some protection after the first dose, at least 52% effective, and that it was highly effective after the second dose 3 days later at 94.8% effective. And overall, this is very good news and almost guarantees that the Pfizer vaccine will ultimately be approved and that the US will be able to begin its rollout process with 100 million doses ordered. But unfortunately, reports came out yesterday saying that the Trump administration had the option to acquire up to an additional 500 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine back in July, but actually declined to exercise the option back then. So now Pfizer is saying that it could not supply the federal government until June or July of next year more than the initial contracted 100 million doses, because other countries and entities have already made purchase orders. But at this time, the US is also contracted with Moderna for an initial 100 million doses, but still holds the option to purchase another 400 million doses by end of 2021. So it appears that the US should have enough supply of a COVID vaccine, regardless of company, by the end of next year. But as I mentioned last week, it is literally a race against time to reach mass vaccinations. COVID case counts continues to rise nationally and in several states. When I posted last week's update, national case counts were barely reaching 200,000 a day. But since then, we have hit an all-time peak of 229,000 on December 4th, and with the potential to continue rising. And where I am in California, things went to 0 to 100 real quick. Bear with me, but California did pretty well at flattening the curve back in the spring, and we were the first state to really pioneer the first stay-at-home orders. Then we had a summer spike, but that seemed to have subsided by late August. But words cannot fathom this latest peak the past couple of weeks, to go from 6,043 cases on November 8th to over 34,000 cases on December 8th. California has officially gone parabolic. My region is currently on another lockdown where non-essential activities are prohibited and all indoor and outdoor dining is closed. Hospital ICU capacities are starting to dip below 10%. And if this rate keeps up, the state will not have any hospital beds left for patients by Christmas. So I think I'll just stay home and continue to make YouTube videos as we wait this out. So how do I think 2021 will play out? I think this winter is going to shape up to be a rough one, but the end is near as the vaccine rolls out with full steam ahead. With the market still richly valued, I would not be surprised if we see a market pullback in Q1. And as for what I'll be doing, I will continue to buy into the market every month and dollar cost average, or DCA, my positions and let the dividends compound. So let's see how my M1 Finance portfolio performed this past week. Here, we are on the M1 Finance portfolio platform, and you can see this account is in the green. The past one day, we were up 0.36% or $20.73. Within the past week, we are up 1.3% or $73.26. The past 1 month, we are up by 6.5% or $331. And then the past, I guess all, since this account is still new, we are up 11.82% or $416.60. And keep in mind that all these returns are money-weighted returns, which includes the share price appreciation as well as all the dividends I have received since I started this account. And you can see here out of this 416, it actually breaks down into market gain and earned dividends. So as far as the market gains, which is all the appreciations on all the shares that I own, I am up $387.41. And then since I have started this account back on September 23rd, I actually earned a total amount of dividends of $29.19, which is awesome because all that money is passive income with no work on my part other than just owning the shares and continually investing more money into the positions. And my net cash flow into this account, which is basically what I put in to invest, is $5,411.81. And right now the current value is $5,799.22, which is just shy of 5,800. And I suspect that with my weekly contributions, I just hope to hit 6,000 by New Year's Day. And if I head over to the activity chart, I just want to go over some of the activities that I have done. I will go over my dividends in a separate video, but you can see in the past month, I just deposited $100 on December 7th, $50 yesterday, and then also on yesterday, I initiated a buy position for 19 different companies. You can see here that they just included all the underrated companies that I held. And then one thing I need to point out is that during this past week, I made a change to my target weightings that you are able to do with M1 Finance and then the slices. So actually what I did was I actually reduced my target allocation for Costco, COST. It used to be at 3%, but I bumped it down to 2% just because I'm more of I buy based on price to earnings and historical valuations. And I just think that Costco is very richly valued right now. I don't want to sell it because I know that this is a solid blue chip dividend growth stock, but I don't want to be buying at record high prices. So I bumped this down, but then I bumped up WPC, which is a industrial / office / retail REIT, and I bumped it up from 3% to 4%. And that's why under the activity sheet, you can see that out of the 150 that I invested yesterday, let's see, where is WPC? Over $53 of it went into WPC, and then the remaining like $98 or whatever was spread out with the rest of the 18 companies. And then I will now go over my actual holdings. So please bear with me. I have 31 positions and it will take some time to go over. So if we, let's do it by, let's do it by value, I guess. So my biggest holding is Apple, AAPL. I have 2.29 shares with a value of $285. I'll just round it up to the next dollar. Next up, we have AT&T. I have 7.84 shares at $241. Next up, I have O, Realty Income, at 3.77 shares and with a value of $228. Next up, I have MSFT, Microsoft, at 1.05 shares, valued at $226. Next up, I have JP Morgan and Chase, 1.84 shares at $225. Next up, I have Visa, 1.06 shares at also at $225. We have WP Carry, 3.2 shares at $224. Next up, we have BAC, Bank of America, at 7.7 shares at $224. Next, we have LOW, Lowe's, at 1.5 shares at $223. SPG, Simon Property Group, 2.15 shares at $194. We have PFE, Pfizer, 4.4 shares at $188. We have CVS, 2.4 shares at $178. We have Disney, DIS, 1.12 shares at $172. J&J, 1.12 shares at $170. We have MMM, 3M, at 0.98 shares at $169. We have AMGN, Amgen. I have 0.74 shares valued at $169. We have Procter & Gamble, PAG, 1.22 shares, also valued at $169. We have SBUX, Starbucks, 1.67 shares valued at $169. We have PEP, PepsiCo, 1.16 shares valued at $168. KMB, Kimberly-Clark, 1.23 shares at $168. We have ESS, Excess Property Trust at 0.67 shares valued at $168. We have GD, General Dynamics Corp, 1.09 shares valued at $168. We have NOC, Northrop Grumman. I have 0.56 shares valued at $168. We have MCD, McDonald's, 0.8 shares at $168. We have TGT, 0.97 shares at $168. We have NNN, National Retail Properties, 4.28 shares at $167. We have CMCSA, 3.25 shares at $167. We have MAA, Mid-America Apartments, 1.35 shares valued at $167. LMT, Lockheed Martin, 0.46 shares valued at $167. We have Costco, COSC, 0.42 shares at $157. And PRU, Prudential Financial, at 1.46 shares valued at $117.37. And as you can see, just because I recently bought into, or at least contributed to this account, the portfolios are, pretty on point. They're all within $1 or $2 of each, and that's what I really like from M1 Finance. That when you make a buy, it spreads out your capital so that it evenly distributes it until it reaches the target percentages. And let's see, one other thing that I want to point out for this portfolio is I just found out yesterday that one of my holdings just saw a dividend increase for the first time this past week. Mid-America Apartment Communities, MAA, increased its dividends by 2.5% to $1.02.5. And year over year, that gives me, let's see if I do the math right here, $4.01 per share on an annual basis. So let's hop on over to a spreadsheet tracker that I created to help me keep track of my portfolio and dividend income. And I actually already updated and reflected all the shares from yesterday's purchases, as well as the dividend increase that I will receive from AAA in the future. Right here, you can see that here is MAA. I currently have 1.348 shares, and I already changed this where now my annual dividend per share is $4.01. So with my current shares, until I purchase some more, my 1.35 shares will earn me a total of $5.53 per year just from owning these shares valued at $167. I even calculated the current yield versus my cost basis and yield at cost. I purchased it when back when it was a little higher at $1.34. So I am always looking to add to my position. But here is the rest of my holdings, and you can see here that my total, projected annual dividend income at $166.42. And here, the next tab, I also keep track of my monthly dividend this way. Here, since I started this portfolio in September, I have received 2 full months of dividend in October and November. I already earned a couple of dividends in December, but I'll wait until I publish a separate video just for dividends received. And I am using this bar graph to show me, my progress. So, in October, I earned a total of $3.75. November, I earned a total of $6.32. And December, I hope to earn over $10 because of a special dividend from one of the stocks that I own. So I think I'll end the video here. Thank you again for watching this video. For the YouTube algorithm, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with everyone. Click the bell notification to receive an alert when the next video drops. The more engagement I get, the more likely my videos will show up on the YouTube algorithm. Bye.